Another concern that has been raised is US government funding and what is the ministry doing about that. As we know, the global fight against HIV, TB, malaria is mainly supported by PEPFAR, PMI, Global Fund, and UNAIDS, and all deriving quite an amount from USG. Kenya has been overly dependent on the donor-driven vertical health programs, and yet there was a stop work order which has disrupted USG funding worth 30.9 billion. HPT being 24.9, HRH 5.8, HMIS and health system strengthening also being affected. Additional multilateral funding for vaccines, nutrition, family planning of about 17.2 billion are also at risk. And then the public health security may result to service disruption because of lack of commodity security, HRH, and data systems being affected. So what is the status? Currently, we have 1.4 Kenyans living with HIV on ART, and we are at risk of having 58,495 new infections by 2030 if donor funding is reduced. For TB, we are likely to have 23,500 TB annual mortalities, among them being 20,000 people living with HIV. And for malaria, we're likely to have 12,000 deaths per year, with projected increase because of climate change. And for family planning, 6.2 million who rely on family planning annually are likely to be affected, and yet the gap of 40% has not been reached. Regarding vaccine, coverage currently is at 77%, and the program currently under transition from donor to government funding. So that coverage of 77% is likely to be hampered. So as we said, for commodities, 24.9 is by US government, 79.8 to Kenya, and 79.8 health commodity need. That is 24.9 out of the 79.8 commodity need. And we are engaging diplomatic interventions. On Wednesday, we'll be meeting the US acting ambassador, and we are also developing an impact assessment of which we will be sharing with the various development matters and diplomatic for interventions.